Welcome to In Search of Food, where cooking and eating out does not have to be expensive, where I ignore the Michelin stars and find value for a meal. Welcome back to In Search of Food. Once again, I'm Anton here outside on a nice warm sunny day barbecue, and we will be cooking chicken quarters and burgers today. So let me show you how to do this the right way. Now let's get into the grill and let's begin cooking. Now, before you put the hamburgers in the barbecue, a lot of people forget to season the hamburgers. I just like to put a little salt and pepper on the hamburgers before we cook the burgers on the grill. Just a little salt and pepper. And when I defrost my burgers, I don't want my burgers to be fully defrosted. I want it to be about sort of like an 85-90%. So as you can see, the burger is defrosted, but as you can see, it's still a little bit hard. It's not fully defrosted, it's just movable. I don't like it fully defrosted because when you put it on the grill, it flops around and it breaks apart. So my burgers are only 90% defrost, and then after the salt and pepper, we're gonna put it on the grill. Now, since the barbecue is nice and hot, we're gonna start dunking our burgers in there. And you gotta remember, when you dunk your burgers in there, make sure it's nice and hot, and make sure you just don't leave it there. Once you get a nice sear on the bottom of the burgers, you need to move them away. So we're gonna start dunking the burgers on. You should be able to hear the nice sizzling sound. So now, as you can see, all the burgers are on there now. We're gonna just cover the lid, but you must watch it. You don't want the burgers to overcook. So we're gonna cover the lid now and just leave it there for like 1 minute. And once it gets nice and brown, we're gonna flip it over and move it over to the warm side. Now, the key to having a good burger is not to constantly poke or flip the burger. You can hear the sounds of it sizzling, and you can sort of just zoom in on the bottom, and you can see that it's slowly cooking. Once it's nice and brown on the bottom, we can flip it over. So if you want to see whether it's nice and brown, you can just gently try to lift it up. If the burger does not move when you gently try to lift it up, then that means it's not ready for flipping. So we'll gently give it a little jiggle. So now I'm gonna give the burgers just a gently jiggle. So I'm gonna just go underneath and gently jiggle it a little. As you can see, let me get closer. As you can see, the burger is still jiggling too much. You can see it's not cooked yet. Let's check the other one. See, it's still jiggling a little. So what you want to do is, once you lift up the burger, what you want is the burger not to jiggle. You see how this is jiggling a lot? So that means this is not ready yet. Don't go like this and start pressing on the burger. Never do that. And never constantly poke it. When you press on the burger too much, what happens is all the juices of the burger will drip down there, and it'll start to fry up, and it'll also take away the juices from the burger. So we'll just gently lift it up and see if it's ready or not. And then if it needs a little more time, we just leave it there. See, we just gently turn this a little bit, and then we'll see if this one's ready. And then what we will do is we'll just gently, as long as it doesn't stick, we can see this one needs a little more time. Looks like it's okay. We can gently turn this a little bit. And then the other one, you don't want to move it when it's not cooked. This one's okay, so we can gently turn it. As you can see, this one over here is starting to fall apart. So we're not gonna move it that much. We're gonna let it cook for a longer time, and then we're gonna flip it. So we're gonna close the lid and cook it for a longer time, but you don't want to just go inside and watch an hour TV show and forget about it. Let this cook, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna flip it. As you can see now, your burger is ready for flipping. You can see that it's getting more hard and getting more stiff. If you would look at this burger right here, you see how when I wiggle it, see, it's not actually moving it that much. That means it's ready to flip. So what I like to do is I like to take my burger and then just flip it real quick, get in a nice sear, and then we're gonna dunk it over to the warm side. See, as you can see, this is a perfect burger. Nice and brown. So I'm not gonna sear it a lot on the other side. Same with this one. See, nice and brown. I don't want to overcook the other side. As you can see, the burgers are looking great. So I'm not gonna overcook the other side. I'm gonna just sear it gently, and then we're gonna take the burgers from here and then we're gonna move it all to the warm side to the indirect heat. So I'm gonna just cover it for a couple of seconds. I don't wanna overcook the burger. The first time when you put the burger under, you wanna cook it for a little longer so you can get a nice sear. Then after, it's just a gentle sear, and then we're gonna dunk it over to this side, the warm side, so we don't overcook the burger. So let's cover this for a couple of seconds. Now, as you can see, burgers have seared enough. We're gonna gently just take the burgers. As you can see, they're not flopping. They're only flopping a little bit, as you can see. We're gonna gently bring it over to the warm side, and then we're gonna cook this in the indirect heat. And then just to keep it warm, we're gonna put it on this side. What I like to do is not put it directly under the coals. I like to sort of put it a little bit away from the coals, the indirect heat, just to warm it up a little. You won't want to overcook the burger. You want it just to be a nice medium rare. So we'll let this sit on the warm side for a little bit. Now you remember, we already used these tongs to do raw burgers. So these tongs the burgers have been moved over to the warming side. So therefore, these tongs will not be used again to flip the burgers. I'll use another item to flip the burgers because we don't want the burgers to get germs from the raw spatula. Okay, so we'll close the lid, let it cook a little bit. And now this side is piping hot. We can start adding more food on this side, which I'm gonna do. As you can see, the burger should be almost done now. We don't want to overcook the burger. So I'm gonna get my clean tongs and we're gonna just gently flip them over. So as you can see, they're very nice. See, as you can see, the burger still has a little give. It's flopping a little. When it's flopping a little bit, as you can see, you can tell it's flopping a little bit. That means it's perfect. It's not overcooked. So we just cook this for another couple of seconds, and then we're gonna take it inside and let it cool down. If your burger does not flop, it's very stiff, that means you have overcooked the burgers. So we'll cover it over the lid and we'll let it cook for a couple of seconds, and then we'll start shooting the chicken in on this side. Now, as you can see, the burgers are done. Let me lift this up and show you. See, it's just perfectly, see? It's not overly cooked. See, there's still a little give to it. We're gonna take the burgers out. We're gonna put it in a plate and we're gonna let it rest a little bit before we make our burgers. Burgers are just like cooking steaks. You always have to let it rest a little bit. So these are perfectly done. As you can see, the coals have died down and they're nice and warm. So what I have done is I have placed a whole bunch of hamburger buns here to nice and toast. Remember, hamburger buns have to be put in direct heat. So you just want it gently beside the heat. You never want your buns directly on the heat itself. And even though your buns are away from the heat, they still can overcook. So if you gently hit the buns, you press on the bun a little bit. If it still has a little bit give, that means it's okay. You don't want to overcook the buns because the buns will be hard. So now we'll just let this cover just a little bit, and then we're going to take the buns inside. Once again, thanks for watching In Search of food. Don't forget, without you, the viewer, there will be no channel. Greatly appreciate for watching. Stay tuned for more barbecue videos. 多謝咁多位睇我嘅 YouTube 頻道，整呢啲雞同整呢啲 hamburger， 下回我會教你煮好嘢食。多謝你，唔該你 like and subscribe， 多謝你先。